right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Jason Brown here. If you're new to the channel, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you learned something today. And if you are a returning viewer, I truly appreciate your support. Now, today I'm talking about a topic that's straight out of my new book, which is titled It Is Possible: How I Earned 2 Debt-Free Degrees and How You Can Too. And today we're talking about alternatives to the traditional four-year college. So thankfully, we live in a digital internet world where so many more opportunities are available to us to educate ourselves, to learn a skill or a trade. And there's just so many more options out there that are more affordable in some cases than attending a traditional four-year university or college. So I wanted to share some of these ideas with you if you are currently looking for ways to pursue higher education or continuing education at a lower cost than the traditional college route. So I've got a top 8 list that I'm going to share with you guys today. So just in random order, I'll just go down the list and we'll talk a little bit about each one. So the first one is, the very first one I have is community college, or in some cases, it might be a 2-year associate degree. So you're going to save a tremendous amount of money by attending a 2-year school, or sometimes, it has different names: community college, 2-year school, get an associate degree. Go to your community college first. Make sure those credits will transfer to the university of your choice if you want to end up going to a university, a 4-year college. But a lot of people can just go the 2-year community college route, get your associate degree, and go straight into the workforce, depending on what you want to do. And you don't even need to go any further than that, because you have the education you need, you have the skill set and the knowledge that you need. And community colleges are going to be so much cheaper and more affordable as opposed to going to a public or private 4-year university. So explore any community college options that you might have, especially if it's in your neighborhood or city, and you can just drive to it. You don't have to move or anything; just commute to it, and you'll save money that way as well. So number 2, the second one, online college or online school. This has become very, very popular, like I said, with the advent of the internet. There's so many more opportunities now, and you'll see a lot of companies. I know Starbucks got a lot of publicity a while back when they offered, and I think they still do this, they offer free schooling for any of their employees or staff members that want to go. And I believe they have a partnership with, it's either Arizona or Arizona State. I can't remember. You guys can research that. But they have a partnership with an online reputable university that any of their employees want to go and get an online degree. Starbucks pays for it. Now, a lot of companies do this as well. It's not just Starbucks, but Starbucks is the one that gets the publicity, because anytime Starbucks sneezes, it's front page news. So, but online college is an option out there for people who, maybe you have kids at home, or maybe you are taking care of an older family member and you can't physically go into an in-person classroom setting. The online college route might be more, it's going to be more affordable. Online is usually always more affordable than in person, just because, it's just a cheaper platform. And also, it's going to be cheaper because you're not going to be driving and wasting time in traffic commuting to a school that might be on the other side of town. And it might be more convenient for you. You can take the classes at your time that you're available to do it, as opposed to trying to be at an in-person class at a specific time. A lot of the online classes, they just have a time window for you to get the lesson done. And it's a lot more flexible for what we call the working adult, someone that might be working a full-time job or taking care of kids. The online college is a better route for those types of people. So that is an option to explore. Now, number 3, several different names for this. Technical school, trade school, vocational school, they're all kind of interchangeable here. Now this, I'm a big fan of this. I have a lot of friends that have gone this route. Just if you know specifically what you're interested in or what you're passionate about or what skills you might want to develop that could become a job or a career, go to a trade school. There you're gonna learn all kind of different things like welding, plumbing, electricity, auto mechanic. I mean, all kind of like computer IT tech stuff. You can get trained in now. Oh, cybersecurity is a big one now with all these. We see this going on in our country, in our world now. All these hacks, these attacks, these cybersecurity attacks on all these different types of companies that are getting hit by these people. So cybersecurity is a big focus on companies now. So learning something like that will make you extremely marketable. Now, I'll tell you a story of this is my mechanic, and he went to a trade school to learn how to become an auto mechanic, and that was the route he took. And he was placed he worked with Honda. He was placed in a Honda dealership in their shop and trained there as an apprentice, and worked his way. I believe he was paid. And then, of course, once he was done with his schooling and he got his degree from the vocational school, the Honda dealership hired him on full time, and he worked there for, I want to say, 15 years. And then he started his own shop, started his own business. So now that's what he does now. So he's got a really cool story of how he pursued his career, the non-traditional route, I guess you could say. Now, the next one is also interchangeable words: continuing education. You also see professional education. I actually used to work at a college of continuing and professional education at Kennesaw State University. I worked there for 5 years and learned a lot of the ins and outs of that. And basically, that's the non-degree side, non-credit side, right? So this is also this is marketed to the working adult, to the parents, to someone who wants to come back and get further education, either for the job that they're already in, to maybe provide upward mobility, maybe have an opportunity for advancement, or if career changers, someone that might want to, I'd like to learn how to get into the medical field, or learn how to get into the hospitality field, or learn how to get into paralegal. That's a big one that you can take. That's actually a really good example. You can actually go through a paralegal program if you're interested in law or the legal field, and you really don't want to go to law school and pay $400,000 of student loans or whatever it is to put yourself through law school. And hey, become a paralegal for, I don't even know, 0.5% of the cost. I know at the school I worked at, we had a paralegal certificate program, and I want to say it was maybe about $5,000, and that's the cost of the books and the school. And you could probably do it it's about a 1 to 2 year program depending on your pace. If you were aggressive, you could do it in 12 months. If you wanted to do it at a slower pace, you could probably get through it in 2 years, which wasn't a bad commitment. And then you get a job as a paralegal in an office, in a law office setting, and it's a really good career for a lot of people. Now, another one is a lot of these medical jobs. You can just go and get a professional certificate. That's what they're called on the non-credit side. They're called certificates. So you complete this course, and you'll get an actual certificate, which is like a diploma, but it's just called a certificate. It's a professional certificate. So you get that. You get your accreditation, whatever you want to study. This is big, like medical assisting, medical billing and coding. There's a lot of healthcare jobs that don't require a bachelor's or a master's or any type of higher degree. You can go and get these professional certificates, and they're going to teach you exactly what you need to know to succeed in that specific job, because they are catered and targeted to that job. So if you want to be a medical coder, you can go take a professional training course at a local college or university on the non-credit side and get that certificate. And a lot of those classes they'll range anywhere from 3 months to maybe 12 months. Some of them might go up to 18 months, but a lot of them you can probably do in 6 months or less, and you'll get that skill set and that knowledge and that training, that hands-on. A lot of them provide a lot of hands-on training as well, and you're going to get that training that you need for the job that you might be interested in. So that's one to look at. Now the next one, this is the fifth one. This is apprenticeships, and this one is really, really good too. I'm going to share a couple specific stories about this. So valuable. When I worked at the University of Kennesaw State, we actually had a culinary apprenticeship program I want to tell you about real quick. So this is the perfect example is if you are interested in the restaurant industry or maybe catering or hospitality, you don't really need to go to a 4-year college and get $80,000 of student loan debt. You can go to a professional certificate, or this was actually a professional apprenticeship program at the local university, and I want to say it was about a actually no, this was under a year. This was a 9-month program, and it was a classroom based, but the classroom was in a professional kitchen. It was a professional kitchen environment. They had professional chefs as instructors, and then you would hands-on. It's a hands-on training course. So the first, it was split. So then they would place you into apprenticeships at local, very high-end restaurants, and then also into catering companies, very well-respected catering companies. And it was on a rotation basis. So you would work at a restaurant for a certain amount of time, then you would rotate to another restaurant, then you would do a catering business, and then and etc. So that is actually helping you become more well-rounded, develop all the skill sets and the knowledge base that you need, and also probably help you figure out what you like and don't like. Maybe you don't not interested in the catering side. Maybe you're interested in the restaurant side. A lot of people wanted to open their own restaurant or start their own food truck business. We saw a lot of these graduates from this program launch food truck business, open restaurants, start catering companies, things of that nature. So you're learning the business side too. So you're learning all this in under a year, and this program costs $10,000. So you can see the value of it. So the idea is, if you know this is specifically what you want to do, it's definitely cost effective to take a program like that versus going to college and paying X amount of times more money than you would necessarily need to do. The other apprenticeship story I want to share real quick is actually about my sister. One of my sisters, her name's Jenna, and she started an apprenticeship program in the hair makeup salon industry. So she started working at just a local salon, and she started just I guess front desk, the scheduler, the person that answers the phone. I'm not sure the exact job title for that. Receptionist, maybe. I don't know if that's politically correct anymore. But she worked at the front desk, and the salon owner came to her and said, "Hey, are you interested in learning how to become a stylist and a makeup artist?" He said, "Well, I never really thought about that before." And he said, "Well, why don't you become my apprentice?" And basically, she would just shadow him throughout the day and receive valuable hands-on experience. And I want to say that program was maybe around 1 to 2 years long, and they paid her for it. Not much, but she got paid, and then she made a little bit of percentage of tips as well. But it was more about the experience than the money. And then once she got through the program, she went and got certified. I think different states have different qualifications. In Georgia, you have to take a certification test, a board test that you had to do to become a certified hair and makeup stylist. And then once she got accredited, she was able to work in the salon and make the regular rates and get the full tips and everything like that. So that was a very valuable experience for her. And that wasn't really through a college or university like the culinary one that I just told you about. This was just through a company. So specific companies might just offer an apprenticeship program, and you can just go and you work and you get paid, and you're learning on the job. So valuable experience there. So that's a good one to look into. Now the sixth one is the military. Now I know this isn't for everybody. I always say that. Joining the military could be a very valuable experience for a lot of people. And the education benefits are enormous in the military. You have the GI Bill, and there's several different military education opportunities where they will pay for your school. And I actually know a lot of people who join the military for that very specific reason, is just to get those military education benefits. And a lot of times they will pay for your spouse and your kids' school as well. It just depends on your length of service, and I think what programs they offer. But there are tremendous value of getting education through the military, and of course, the military it is so many valuable things come out of the military. You're going to learn discipline and structure, and skill, all kinds of different skill sets. You're going to learn leadership and character, and all kind of just really good qualities that you will learn from a military experience. And a lot of people get into the military and they make a career out of it, which is a tremendous opportunity as well. So the military, and actually I'm going to share a little bit on this one too. My friend, his name is Brent, my auto mechanic that I just mentioned. He also was in the military, and he used some of his military education benefits to pay for that trade school that he went to become an auto mechanic. So he leveraged that military experience as well to pay for his education to become the auto mechanic that he is now. So that's one worth considering for the right individual. Now the next one, I know I mentioned this before, but this is a little different. This is the free online learning. There's platforms called MOOCs, which MOOC is a acronym for Massive Open Online Courses. And if you haven't heard of that, and it does sound kind of funny, but you can search for it. I believe Harvard University is one of the big universities that provides these MOOCs. And basically, they're just free online courses you can take on all kind of different subjects that you would like to educate yourself on and build knowledge and a skill set on. And you can find these anywhere on the internet. A lot of big universities, I think Ivy League schools, provide these for free. And a lot of people don't even know about them. A lot of people don't even know they exist. And I didn't first learn about them until I worked in education. When I worked at Kennesaw State University, they started talking about these, and I had no clue what they were talking about. But it became kind of mainstream. I want to say maybe 5 years ago, people started really hearing about them. But that's something to look at. If you have no problems with online learning and you do well with that, hey, there's a lot of free courses out there that you can take that could really be beneficial, maybe to boost your resume, etc. So the next one is, so this is our last one, the eighth and final one is, and it's probably the most obvious one, is just work. Just go to work. Maybe get a job that provides on the job training, or like I said, there might be an apprenticeship program or an internship program or a volunteer program that would lead to a job. But really, it's there's no shame in just going to work. If you're not sure what you want to study in school, there's no shame in taking a year or 2 years off and working and saving money to avoid student loan debt. There's no shame in that. That's the gap year I like to promote. Hey, take a year off and work 3 jobs and save that money to pay for your school, instead of going to school and going into debt and then having to work for the next 20 years of your life to pay off the debt. So I would rather work my butt off for 1 year and sacrifice than work my butt off for 20 years or longer to pay off the debt. I mean, but that's just me. Now, going back to the working. So remember, not everybody goes to college. I want to say it's only about 60% of high school graduates go on to college. So that means 40% of high school graduates do not go to college. So what are they doing? They're just going to work. They're getting a job. They're going to work, or maybe they're going to the military or some of these other options that I just mentioned. But 40%, that's a very big, significant number of high school graduates do not go on to traditional four-year college. So there's lots of opportunities out there to educate yourself without going through the traditional four-year college route. So hopefully these will give you guys some ideas. If you have other ideas, that's just my list. There's probably dozens more ideas. If you have some more ideas that I haven't mentioned, put them in the comments below so we can share our ideas and all learn from each other. I'd really appreciate that. And just thank you so much for watching. If you want to support me further, you can subscribe to my channel. I do money chats all the time. Anything that has to do with money, I love to talk about it and share my experiences with it. So if you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website, yourmarginmatters.com, and there you can learn about all my books that I've written, and you can check out my blogs and my other videos that I have posted as well. So until next time, this is Jason Brown saying thanks so much for watching, and remember my favorite saying that it's not the amount of money you make, but the margin that matters the most. We'll see you next time.